Spoken about despair in part one, but let me just say, I'm not preaching, I speak from experience. Little about me, I was starting my own business and my father came down with Alzheimer's, just when I needed him. My younger brother had hepatitis C over 2 years. No doctor would help him because he was gay and had HIV. My wife and I were doing in vitro fertilization, IVF, and to start a family. And her autoimmune response to the treatments made her so ill she died after 16 years of infections and hospitalizations. Later on, my older brother, suffering from PTSD, abused and killed my mother, who I had moved to his house while I was busy caring for my wife. Then he killed himself. He just did that before I was about to relocate near him to see if I could help him. He was a commissioned officer in the armed forces, as I said, with PTSD. Yet each time, I managed to get out of that despair by creating movement in my life, moving out of that space of despair. I mentioned in the first video about sitting in a canoe that you can't steer because it's not moving forward. We're here as souls in a human experience to experience motion, sound, and light. In the other dimensions, there's no motion. You're everywhere. There's no sound, you hear everything. And there's no light, you see everything. Here, motion, sound, and light creates friction, and that friction creates despair. But at the same time, you can move yourself out of it. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. You're sitting in traffic and you're banging on the steering wheel. What do? You get off the highway and take the side roads. You're no longer thinking about the traffic now. You did something different. You made a motion to get yourself out of that despair. You're walking down the street and it's raining. You step into a store. You had no plans of going in there, but you took yourself off your path. And when you come back out of that store, you move on, maybe in another direction or the same direction, it doesn't matter, but you're no longer in that position of despair. That's the way I found it. For me, it was always creating furniture. I would go into my shop and there'd be an empty bench there. And at the end of the day, there'd be a piece of furniture standing there. I created a different reality. I created something that didn't exist before for me. And that took me out of that despair and helped me deal with all that crap going on in my life. There's a lot of despair in this world. I think if everybody would just pivot, do something different, play 52 pickup, throw the deck of cards up in the air. It doesn't matter what you do. You just change something. You'll think different. Watch part 3. And remember, come see us at Zena Furniture. We have a great time and we're never in despair.